Who was it who went, woo? I agree with that. That was terrific. Oh my, how'd you guys feel playing that? Did you feel scared? Did you feel scared? Did you feel scared? That's awesome. Guess what? We all do when we play. That's the good news. The better news is that even though you feel that way, there are things that you can do to play even better. And I'm going to point out some of those things. Let's just backtrack for a second, because this will actually inform how you play and how you feel when you do it. Do you know, like, what part of Mozart's life this was written? Like, this was can you imagine? This was like a brand new app, this combination. Like, for Mozart to take the clarinet and put it together this way, he met a friend in his little Masonic lodge who played clarinet, and he just started to get entranced with the clarinet. So he decided to write it. Let me tell you, we think Mozart, oh, it's so serious. He was a really silly guy. Did you know that? Like, total prankster, partier, would, at parties go and play the piano blindfolded backwards and all kinds of things. And when he was writing music, it wasn't like, okay, I'm going to do the trio now, and I'll finish that, and then his brain was like all over the place. And to give you an idea, you know what the subtitle of this piece is? What is it? Kegelstadt. What is that? It's like a little game of Skittles, So it's purported that he was either playing this game or thinking about playing the game, or it's almost like a game of pool or something, and he would write, and then, you ever see the movie Amadeus? You should, it's was done in the 80s. You should all see it. It's great. It's great. But it depicts him at one point sort of writing, you see manuscript on the pool table, and he'd throw a ball here in one pocket, and then he'd scribble something down. And so he was a really playful guy. When you start playing this together, if you guys are terrified or scared or whatever, you have each other. And that's what the great thing about this chamber music is. You can play off of each other. I want to do some of this stuff again and see if I can get you guys to talk to each other with your instruments. And I want to tell you something. It just doesn't matter if you make a little mistake, if one thing is a little out of tune, or if we chip a note or something. It's much more important for us as the listener to feel this connection and this emotion. And to that end, can you guys just tighten it up and move in a little closer together? So I want to, yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good. And then, so if your operative word is sort of fun and enjoyment, and to connect with Chihiro and connect with Ella, and Ella, you do the same react. Watch how this changes your feeling. So in other words, that feeling of being scared that you communicated to me, what I would love for you to start to entertain is the idea that you can have that feeling, but you don't have to be afraid of it. Do you know what I mean? Because oh my God, I'm scared. It's not going to go well. No. Oh, there's that feeling of being scared. Now I'm going to engage more. I'm going to listen to Ella. I'm going to listen to the piano. I'm going to react. I'm going to express a different dynamic now. So you get more engaged in this, and you have these little process cues that can get activated even more when you're feeling that. But just start again. See how this works. And let's give you something to really hold on to. Would you guys agree that the music is either going somewhere or coming away? Do you know what I mean by that? You're either growing to a point or coming away. That's what really communicates a phrase or an emotion. So, with that in mind, can you show me and Mary Jo, we're sitting here, let's say we have to take dictation, musical dictation, not notes, but just dynamics, that we can be perfectly clear that, you are, let's say, so Sophia, you're starting it, that we could write out a chart of here's her crescendo, here's her diminuendo, here's her forte, here's her piano, without looking at the music. Can you try that for us? Good. That's excellent. Do you hear how you ended that last part? Ba-dum. Almost had like an accent, right? Da-dum. If you think of how would this impact us as listeners if you ended da-dum, and then you started something new instead of dee-dum. Like it's not a grand ending, but a gentle taper, right? That's one thing. Another thing that would really help this, I'm going to play around with you guys. Can you do it faster? Yeah. Can you do it faster? And you know what would help that? Think in 2, not in 4. Are you counting 4? Mm-hmm. You can feel that subdivision, but think in 2. And Chihiro, after she does that, why don't you tease her? Let her know that you're reacting to what she did. And if you want to make a little more of a crescendo and come back. The other thing I think would really help, when you have the figure, bum, bum, dee, yada, yada, that almost sounds like a triplet, dee, ya, dee, ya, dee. Do you know what I mean by that? See if you can play that little 16th as part of the note that follows, rather than the note that, the dotted note. Do you know what I mean? Try it once. Okay. Yum, bum, dee, ya, dee, ya, dee. Mm-hmm. That's more like that. Can you do that together? Well, start from the beginning and try it faster. When you get there, it's like a little twinkle in your bum, bum, dee, ya, dee, ya, dee, right? Okay? So 1, 2, 1, and 2. Great. Bum, dee. Good. Good, Jiren. You're talking to her. Oh, you know, that's really good. That's definitely an upgrade. There's one other thing I want you guys to think about. Does it feel different when you do that? It has more of a flow, and then it has a little impish character. Bum, bum, dee, ya, dee, ya, dee. So isn't that your role, to sort of express to us and engage us with the different characters? The other thing I want to talk about in terms of chamber music, and this goes for any time you're playing with people in any ensemble. I mean, playing in an orchestra is basically big chamber music. Know your role at the moment. Meaning, even if you have a forte, or mezzo forte, or piano, whatever it is, that if you really listen and say, okay, this note is an accompanying color note. I should be really, the audience should really be hearing the piano at this moment. Take it upon yourself to be that sensitive that you sort of recede in the texture, so that when you do have a solo, you emerge and we hear your voice. So for example, that's your solo. What you get here, that's Chihiro, right? Let's see what that sounds like. So just, color it back. Actually, you can enjoy, it was Simon Rattle who said in one rehearsal at a time, he says, folks, he says, don't feel the need to hear your tone all the time, your own self all the time. And there's something about that. It's sort of like a sandwich that has like a little ingredient that's really subtle, you know, but without it wouldn't be good. See if you can do that little bit again. And when you get to those moments where you're accompanying, just recede and then emerge again when you have the tune. Okay? Try it again. It's beautiful playing, every one of you. Good. Beautiful. Now Chihiro. Good. Good. Follow his line, Ella. Good. Good. Still Chihiro. Now. Great. Does that feel different to you? That's really beautiful. Does it feel different to all of you out there? It really does. You know, that, and even on that last note, for example, you could be just, it would be beautiful if we could almost at times not even detect that it's a clarinet, but just like maybe a note in the piano. That is really, really beautiful. You know, before I continue, you guys, how long have you been rehearsing this and playing it? Since January? Yeah. Great. So do you have any questions for me since you've been rehearsing it? It's like, is there any spot in it that you want to ask me about it? You just want me to continue? Because I'd love to hear from you. Like, if you know, we always get to this spot and I don't know what to do, but you're all? Okay, I'll just keep going then, because you're really playing beautifully. But these are things I think you can really, really be attentive to. And the other thing is, as I mentioned before, Mozart was a really funny, like, silly guy. He was a practical joker. So when you find moments in this where he's suddenly silly, you can bring that out. You know what? Go to the end. Like, let's see. How about, you have bar numbers, right? If you start at 189, you're keeping track of time? Because I'm okay. Okay, good. Okay, good. 189. Yeah, is that okay? It's a good place. Actually, you know what? For Chihiro, why don't we start on his solo? You know where that is? 185. Yeah. Okay. Answer him. Good. Full. Good. You guys, good. See, I think there could be a little humor or conversation here. If we do, when you see something that sort of repeats, I think it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to say something different, right? So if you do it the same, it communicates, I don't want to say a lack of interest, but something a little static. What can you imagine doing in those two phrases? Ba-da-da-ding, bum, 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 bum. Then the next one. Da-da-da. You could do dynamics. You could gently treat the eighth notes differently. Like, what if you went a little longer, the first one's ya-da-da, bum, 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 and then ya-da-da, bum, 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 bum. And then he can react to that. See what that does. Can you do that together? So for the first one, this is just, let me take your idea. Do different dynamics. So what do you want to do? First one a little more, second one a little less? Go for it. Oh, actually, start before it so we can... Chihiro, you want to just do 188? Just the end of your phrase? Yep. Mm-hmm. Good. Good, look at each other. And now less. So do the first one even more so that you have room, right? And you could look at each other so that you're indicating to each other the dynamic, the character that you want. Try it again. Chihiro, is it better to start like just a bar before that so you... Sure. Try it. Well, try it. You know what? Try it a little faster. Don't worry about the notes, but really feel just like the flourish of either the whole bar or in two. Try it. 180. Start at your solo again, Chihiro. He's doing so well. Really. Good, stay. Now. Great. Now. Talk to her. Good. Together. Yay. Answer her. Talk to each other. Good. Crescendo. Bum, bum. Good. If you didn't have me gesturing, would you be doing all that stuff? So then you have to imagine someone doing that, or do that for yourself. See, to me that adds a lot of excitement, and it shows your own imagination. Don't be afraid to do that and to even talk about it in rehearsals. You know what? You say, it seems a little straight. What can we do? Something with dynamics, something with articulation, something with grouping, something with the shape. You can think about this. Da 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 dum bum 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 bum. Right? It's different. Da 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 dum bum 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 bum. So if you just take that idea that music is either going somewhere or coming away, that's enough to start some ideas, you know? Closing remarks, how beautifully they're playing, and how beautifully they're playing and how flexible, you know, you guys can be. I think you're experiencing that now. I wonder if we can just, in the last few moments, do anything else where you can sort of encourage each other or tease each other to do something. What would be a good spot for that? Uh, 116? Do it. Good. Tell her something. over again. Good. It's his turn. Good. Now you two come in. Go, keep going. That's good. Be together. Good. Yeah. Okay, good. That's what I encourage you to do more and more, to have that musical conversation with each other, okay? And, you know, all the little rough patches that we have when we're playing, we'll take care of that. We'll iron it out. We'll listen back to the recording here where things weren't as comfortable. And we'll, you know, I think, like here, my closing remark about this, because you started talking about like you were all scared. To me, I think, given the fact that you've prepared, we have prepared the best that we can for the moment, I'm almost thinking the worst mistake we can make on stage is to sort of give in to that fear, or to play from that space of being scared. You know what I mean? Or rather, here's a better way of saying it. The fear of making a mistake is the biggest mistake. But a little mistake in itself, it just happens. We're human. It's okay. I've heard everyone, certainly myself, Horowitz, live, and everybody makes little mistakes. But if your musical intention is greater than those little mistakes, we don't really care. So then, now we can relax. Done. Bravo.